What is up, guys? Welcome back to another 1-0 podcast. And as you would have seen by the title, the lads have taken it down to basketball, players shooting some hoops. And if you are returning to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe if you haven't already. As you can see, we're in a different studio. Tune in to next Saturday's video. We've got a special podcast coming up, possibly with a guest. I don't know. So tune into that, which is why we're in a different kind of setting. So Matty boy. We just filmed a very special podcast. It was very cool, good fun.
It was very fun.
But now it's down to business.
It is.
This is where it gets juicy.
The #1 show on Netflix lately.
Absolutely unbelievable stuff. The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary. There was a lot of hype coming out before it was released. We'll run through it a little bit.
It lived fully up to the hype.
It just sent us to the air. Like Jordan, sorry, that was really weird. So stick around, we'll just run through some of our favourite moments, chat about Michael Jordan himself, the GOAT conversation. Stick around to the end to see who we think is the GOAT. There's a few special little questions around the end, so make sure you stick around to then to find out. Leave what your thoughts are in the comments below, and if you are new, subscribe. So, Michael Jordan
Started his career. Got picked up. Pick three. You'd be ashamed if you had to pick 1 and 2.
Imagine if you didn't pick MJ.
You look silly now.
Dumb. Stupid. Dumb. As 6'9" would say.
Yeah.
But look, the thing is, he was already a star. Like kind of like a Zion that we just experienced, where in college Zion was blowing up. Everyone knew Zion. And social media nowadays is what can kind of help this out.
Yeah.
Whereas MJ was around at a time where social media wasn't as big as it was, and honestly, his talent is just what proved to separate him from the rest.
Yeah. In the first season, we saw in the documentary that Bulls couldn't even sell any tickets.
Yeah.
Before the '84 season.
Yeah.
MJ comes in 28 points a game, and look, packed, sold out, and playoff contenders from only winning 35% of the games in the previous season. It's like how one man can change a whole league or a whole club is just.
I think we often hear the expression, "There's no winning team," or "There's no such thing as a one-man team." But when someone is so good and classy as him, but not only his skills, his mentality.
Yeah.
And I think if the documentary showed us anything about Michael Jordan, and I remember he tweeted out, it's like, "You're gonna hate me when this comes out." Because you can see how people have gone, Jesus, the way he treats his teammates, which we'll touch on that later on. Do we agree with it? Do we disagree with it? We'll save it for later. Keep it waiting. So we started off first season, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Smashed
Is that a question?
Of course not.
Probably better odds than Dusty winning the Brown line that was.
That's true, pretty safe bet.
Yeah. Can't go wrong there.
And he really just changed Chicago basketball.
Changed the city.
I mean, people would sell their tickets for triple the amount of price. It's hard not to mention this guy's name when we talk about it. What's the LeBron James factor of now? Where you go to a basketball match to see LeBron James.
Yeah, you don't go to watch the game.
I mean, it's on everyone's bucket list. I want to go see a basketball match because before LeBron James retires. And in those days, it was, we've got to go see MJ.
Yeah.
They took it everywhere. But like, he's a special man.
Yeah, I love even the mentality towards the fans. Like, he would say, not even just people watching the games in the arena, but he'd say the people at home are taking 2-3 hours out of their day to watch me, so I'm gonna train my hardest to make it worth it for them.
Yeah. On a bit more of the documentary side of it, did you like how it was? Let's just say, for example, 1988 back to 1984. Did you like how it was a bit of a flashback kind of thing?
Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think sometimes you have to go, hold on, what's this now? But I kind of liked it in a way.
Yeah, like when it got to the point about him moving to baseball, you had to take that transition back to his early life with his dad, or else it just wouldn't have made sense. So I think there it worked. But I think it was like second last episode in the last playoff game or the finals, it just didn't work there.
Yeah, I mean, So we start off near the start of the documentary. Every kind of things might be a little bit jumbled up.
Just like the documentary.
Not necessarily, exactly, just like the doco, not necessarily in order. Whatever comes, we'll just talk about it. But I think the first real big thing was Detroit Pistons, the rivalry there.
The 89s?
Yeah.
Squad.
And obviously they mentioned about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Maybe we'll talk about Scottie Pippen first. Yeah, he was criminally underrated at that time.
Criminally underpaid at the time.
Exactly.
And they made that, you know.
Very well known. I did see yesterday that Scottie Pippen apparently is upset with how he was portrayed in the documentary.
Oh, didn't he lie?
Which is interesting because I thought it kind of made him seem like a good guy to start, but then this whole Scottie Pippen walking off situation, which was when MJ was at, he wasn't a part of the Bulls at that time of playing baseball. But Scottie Pippen, we often get Michael Jordan said, there's no Michael Jordan without Scottie Pippen. So again, the Scottie Pippen thing I think was really interesting to see because it was a situation of this guy had to take, he had to suffer in a way for another person's benefit and for the team's benefit. Because if they started paying Scottie Pippen more and giving MJ less, then do they keep MJ? You don't know. But the Detroit Pistons one was one of the first big ones, like the key talking points of the documentary. They just hated Detroit. Yeah,
MJ got bullied.
They just weren't a fancy team. They weren't your 3-point shooters. They were just hard grit basketball.
Get the job done.
They proper started fights.
Yeah.
They were proper bunch-ons.
The tactics was hurt Jordan.
Yeah, which you look back at it now, it's like, well, other teams, why didn't they do that?
Yeah, it was a genius.
Yeah. And then you see Detroit Pistons and the Isaiah Thomas, Pistons the best player at the time, when they had the dream team. You know, imagine Michael Jordan. They allowed all of them to start at the Olympics again.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, same team, and they all said we don't want Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, and it's funny how the US basketball directors and all that allowed MJ to have the decision over them because they knew how good him and Scottie were.
I think that's what it is. I think it's when you've got someone of that caliber.
He had that much power.
I mean, you're not going to say no. If the best player of arguably all time wants to
not have
wants to have his team as he does, I think you just let him.
And in that Olympics, one of the more shocking moments was how once again MJ and Scottie wanted to prove Jerry Krause wrong.
Yeah.
And just absolutely hammer Tony Kukoc.
And is that's where they stumbled across my personal favourite name, Tony Kukoc.
It's a wrestling name.
It's not Tony Kukoc, it's Tony Kukoc.
You can say his name.
Which there was all this hype around him. A bit of it reminded me a bit of a Luka Doncic kind of thing, playing overseas. The Americans, they're a bit. We know what Americans are like. They love themselves. And there's all this talk. It's Tony Kukoc versus Michael Jordan in the Olympics, and Jordan. I mean, his competitiveness is second to none. He said, "Hold on, you're not putting me in the same conversation as Tony Kukoc." So he went out and made Kukoc look like an absolute bum.
Yeah, it's funny how in the change rooms he said to everyone, I don't know what the coach said, they didn't obviously document it, but he said that him and Scottie are taking one-on-ones or whatever on. On Kukoc, just to prove that he's not up to NBA level.
And look,
I was a bit stiff.
Jordan didn't need to do it.
No.
I mean, there was no one that was really going to go and say, "Oh no, Jordan, you lost this match. You're no longer the greatest of all time." But it's that he never wanted to be second best.
No, he wanted to prove that he was better than the owner.
Which is something that you don't really come across nowadays. I think the three that come to mind: MJ, LeBron James, and the late great Kobe Bryant. The Mamba mentality, that's what you need to take the next step further. I think it was quite inspiring. I've seen a lot of TikToks. People after they watched Last Dance put on the soundtrack, went outside, shoots some hoops, and they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, well.
I'm not gonna lie, I tried to do that, but it didn't work.
But
it's been a long day.
One imagine you doing that. But then going on to like his winning above all mentality, I think he overstepped the mark, and he even admitted when in practice he got physical and whacked. Could be one of the greater coaches of all time right now, Steve Kerr, in the nose. I think that was just.
I mean, I think the way I think he did a lot for Steve Kerr as well.
Yeah.
I don't think many people knew this side to him. I like how they documented how they got over it. I think Michael Jordan's like, I realised I screwed up. I called him. It's all good. Did it like men. Could be a touchy subject. And that was cool to see. I think it was great. Like, they didn't really hide it. I mean, obviously a documentary is always going to be the highlights, and they're not really going to show the shots that they missed, and all that sort of stuff. But it did make it good. Like they weren't shy in saying that Jordan, he was an arsehole to his mates, to excuse my French, but like at training he demanded the most. If you didn't want to be there, he wasn't going to let you there. He's competitive. I remember he was in the back with one of those reporters, and they were playing that game with the coins.
Yeah.
And they were playing like 10 pennies or whatever they were. He did not want to lose. He lost and he was furious.
Yeah, that's just that wanting to be the best in anything you can do.
It's
that
just
sort of mindset.
It's different. It's just different.
Just a bit of a sad turn in the mid-90s. Obviously, with his dad's passing, his transition to baseball. How do you think that affected his career?
So at this point, he had pretty much won.
One wasn't back to back.
He'd done the most he possibly could.
Yeah, triple.
And that's again his focus is like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, the GOATs. They've done back to back, but they've never done the 3-peat.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to do that. And then obviously the passing of his father. And I was surprised to be honest, because obviously we weren't around for his playing days, we were younger. So all of this stuff was kind of new in a way. And just the way the abuse that he copped for that. People were saying that it was him because he experienced all the stuff with his gambling addiction. Or not addiction. He was gambling, got caught out. The game before the finals, he was out at the casino. Didn't play too well the next game. And then he starts getting blamed for the death of his father. And you saw it, and they mentioned it early on, that they were really close. That because of him, he took this sporting side. What did you think of it?
I just thought it was kind of like interesting how he kind of thought that he's done everything he could in basketball, which he did. He pretty much won everything, as much as anyone could. And then he kind of took his dad's story of him wanting to play basketball, and he wanted to achieve that. And he kind of showed that he could achieve it. Until I don't know how deep when it went into like that baseball restructure kind of changed, and he's like, nah, I'm getting out of this. And he went back training with the boys.
Well, what's interesting from that is that he said, they called the press conference. And there was always the rumours that he was going to retire, but there was nothing there. And I think as soon as they called the press conference, I think everyone knew. But the way he kind of handled it was like, yeah, I'm just good. Man, it's not me. Leave me alone. I mean, every time he left the bus, he left the bus. He was swarmed by fans, media, everything. Got to this training centre, fans, media, all that. Went into inside the change room, fans, media, everything. Like, he was never alone. And to take the time to go, you know what, screw it. You're all shut on me. I'm going to be one of the greatest players of all time to bless this world. I'm going to take a step back and do something else. And he mentioned that baseball was his dad's massive love. And he switched codes.
Bit controversial.
Is it that?
Yeah, that's like the two big American sports. You either choose baseball or it's like Australia, cricket or footy.
We could get kind of political in it too. I mean, he's an African American, and a baseball isn't necessarily of that thingy, which also could have caused controversy in that time. But he stayed in Chicago. The training thing was interesting. How he changed his everything. You have to use.
Just
You don't realize you have to use different muscles
Shoulders,
in baseball.
especially.
Yeah. Any of that?
No, just the way he's realised when he went back the first couple of training sessions that he had to get fit, and then he was filming the movie, and what was the company? Disney, the Bros one.
Yeah, Warner Bros.
Yeah, Warner Bros. To build him his own gym and basketball.
Yeah.
And he'd stay up playing basketball with other people just to get fit.
Whilst he was recording Space Jam.
Yeah, the whole day.
Because that was after he had a trial with the baseball team in Chicago. Had a trial with them. He did well, signed a contract. Things didn't really work out. I think he realised it really wasn't for him. It became a bit predictable in the way he was playing. Teams worked him out. And it must be hard mentally for when you're one of the greats at a sport of basketball and then you go back to losing. You would have forgot what it felt like.
Yeah.
So they did all that happened, and then he obviously started recording Space Jam, which was cool. He invited all the players and all just playing, as they call pickup games.
Yeah.
Just like little, I was going to say five-a-side, just little matches against each other, and MJ didn't want to lose once again.
No, I can't remember who it was, but one of the players that played there said that was the best basketball he's ever played because he had all the best players, and no refs. It was just straight like backyard basketball.
No fouls. Everyone was just doing whatever they wanted.
Yeah, and obviously wouldn't go out, hitting people in the head.
Yeah.
But they just made it fun, and I think that's what it's all about. The game, like you got to step away and also have fun as well as trying to win championships at that level.
And arguably one of the sweetest movies of all time, the coolest movies of all time, Space Jam. And LeBron James is the new one, coming out next year. I don't know, next year.
Not a paid sponsorship.
Talk about that. Michael Jordan wanted Adidas.
Yeah, that would have been a tough pill for Nike.
Imagine how different it all would have been.
Imagine Adidas with Air Jordan. That just doesn't look right.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like now you think of it, we've got a Gatorade Michael Jordan cap here. One of my favourite hats ever. Had to pick it up. Heart with his family.
Not a paid advertisement.
Not a paid advertisement. No free sponsors. And what are we talking about? Adidas. Yeah, how weird is that? I mean, it's weird to think. I mean, you can't imagine Nike not being associated with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, because everyone just think of that Air Jordan shoe as like a free shoe in a way. Adidas are more like cagey shoes.
I know what you mean. They would be more
like
solid
structured
kind of thing. Yeah.
It would have been weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, imagine how different everything could have been.
But life would have changed for Nike because he kind of got Nike kicking off, like in the big money.
Because he was the biggest person in the world.
Yeah.
Untouchable. It almost seemed like he could have done it. He could do nothing wrong, which then people quickly start to change. Obviously, as we mentioned with his gambling and all that, people were starting to go, "Well, MJ doesn't really care, does he?" Overall, I thought it was a sick documentary. I do want to touch on one man, Dennis Rodman. Dennis, the dog, Rodman.
Yeah, I saw a quote the other day. Daisy Thomas, ex-bagger, ex-5.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, do you know what I'm thinking about? He made a quote, something along these lines that when this is all over, we're going to go party like Dennis Rodman. what did you think about his partying?
Honestly, the guy is sick and we need more like him. And unfortunately, I feel like as a society now we embrace the different, but we've got to be very politically correct.
I feel like we couldn't embrace this different though, because like our mentality is these players are getting paid millions of dollars and they're not taking their job seriously.
Spot on. I think it's a bit more of a disrespect kind of thing now. If you saw one of the players who should be going out there, I mean, NBA fixtures are like every 3 days, depending on the team, but could ever play back to back, and he's just going out, getting wasted, getting high, whatever. It could feel a bit like a slap of the face to the fans. But the thing that I found most interesting was when, and you had to laugh at it, when Dennis Rodman asked to go on a holiday during the season.
The 48-hour holiday.
And then Michael Jordan's like, "Are you serious?" Phil Jackson's like, "Nope." But what I thought was awesome, Michael Jordan's like, let him go. Because it'll be different. Went to Vegas, saw him passed out on the couch. They said, 48 hours if you're not here, you can get ass whooped. He wasn't there. MJ, a few of the boys went to Vegas, found him, brought him back, dragged him into training. And I heard the drill where they would run around the court. And Michael Jordan, there was whispers around going saying that, let's just slow down because there's no way Dennis would be able to catch us. They did them because the person at the back has to sprint to the front. Dennis Rodman, it took him like 3 laps to catch up to him because he smashed it, which was just sick to see how and maybe that could be something that we could incorporate again into this world. What's it?
The 2020.
That's it. You give players this time because you see, obviously, you just need to let his brain relax. Obviously, partying, drinking was his release, and maybe not everyone is able to switch the gear like that, like how he did. It's a free of mind. We've seen mental health issues nowadays. Maybe that could be the way to go. I think that was sick just to see Dennis Rodman just
do his thing.
Just being a character.
I think it was good how he could say, I'm going to go out this weekend to refresh my mind, just have a break. Because especially NBA players, 82 game seasons, 81, you can't job. And then just to go out at least and just relax. Like, although what he did wasn't like the best, but
I mean,
not in terms of like his name and that.
He lived a life.
Yeah, but I think Phil knew and Michael knew deep down that if they didn't let him go out, he wouldn't be happy.
Yeah.
And he would want to leave, and that just caused more controversy.
And yeah, I realised, as you said, to get the best out of Dennis Rodman,
you got to let him do his thing.
And then, before a playoff game, this is my personal favourite. If you're new, a big WWE fan, he went and he joined NWO.
Yeah.
He joined NWO.
They were giving him so much scrap about that.
And he was just sitting there too sweeting everyone. Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. He was just, he just smashed it.
The thing I loved about that was it didn't seem like anyone at Chicago knew about it. Like, so he just did it himself.
So he just went off. Said, yeah, screw it, I'll pop up on WCW Nitro that night.
Yeah.
Joined NWO. You had a couple of matches here and there.
Like, imagine that now. Imagine like
how is he allowed to do that?
Imagine LeBron just leaving Lakers and just saying, you know what, I'm gonna go film, no contact to LA, nothing. Like, imagine the contract he'd have to sign to do that.
Imagine if he got injured in that match and he could not finish the playoffs.
Bro,
Imagine.
He'd have his contract term.
I'm like, that would be huge. Like, that was my favourite, big WWE fan, and like, that was insane. Now we touched on it, we've got a few questions that we've kind of based it around. So I think overall, sick documentary.
9 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Rating? 9.5?
9.5.
Yeah, you gotta go 9.5. What is a perfect documentary? I think it was class. Netflix smashed it with the 2 episodes a week. Just keeping you intense. One thing I do want to say though, LeBron James, and I think Michael Jordan in this kind of showed. LeBron James, when you think about it, he's quite to the book. He's never in trouble, fortunately. He does a lot of good things for, he's got his school, his education stuff. In his press conferences, always quite straightforward, does what he has to do. Whereas Michael Jordan was a little bit more, I don't want to swear, but like, I'm going to do it because I'm going to do it. You can't tell me what to do.
YouTube can't pay us if you swear.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, subscribe. I've been on 100, actually we're on 148 now. But Michael Jordan was a bit more like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Don't tell me what to do. Which caused a few ruffles. Whereas LeBron James is very, now that you compare the two, is quite, yeah, I'll do this. Mine, I want to do it, I'll do it. Which was interesting.
I prefer George Bates. That's me. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care what people think. If you don't like me, don't interview.
Yeah, I think nowadays people just got to be so careful with what they say.
Yeah, especially like around all those sensitive topics.
Exactly, which we won't go into that.
3 questions. Was Phil Jackson the best coach of all time? Is he the best that will ever will be?
Well, for someone to name the seasons, like his coaching seasons, is unbelievable. And when they told him that, yeah, look, you're not going to come back next year, he could have basically said, fuck you guys,
Yeah,
I'm off.
I'm going to sink this ship.
Why not? you could argue he had the greatest player of all time. You could argue he had one of another legend, Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. But I think he did well to control all those egos, which I think he had man management. I think that was a big thing. Yeah, player management. You would have had players like Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc. Just gotta go, I want to be the star. It's got to be Pippen, the whole thing. When Michael Jordan left for baseball, he was like, alright, now's my time to be the star. And Phil Jackson would have had to try and keep on working that around. But that leads me to the question. We mentioned his name. Which team is better, Matt? Which team is better?
Although they didn't win it, I'm going to have to say that 15-16 Golden State team. Because I've obviously watched more of this team, and to see Clay...
Yeah. This is the season they went 73-9.
Beat the record by 1 win.
I just read off the computer.
I think this team was something special.
It's just the diversity in that team with Steph Curry. Curry possibly changing the game with his deep range shooting. KD, Klay Thompson, the Splash Brothers. That team was something else.
But one thing I will say about Phil Jackson is the way that he would convince Michael to give the ball to others to win games, like in that
trust your teammates.
In the game 6 in '93, gave it to John Paxson, take a winning shot.
Have you seen the clip where Steve Kerr's the one Kevin Durant when he was at Golden State?
Yeah.
Steve Kerr pulls him in. He goes, Phil Jackson told Michael Jordan to trust your teammates, pass the ball. You don't trust them. There's 4 other players on the court now. Trust your teammates. That was really cool. Just see how everything kind of turns full circle. And does this take us to the great debate?
Before the great debate.
Oh, stick around for more, man.
Before the great debate.
Go on.
Is there a team better? Will there ever be a team better than the 97-98 Last Dance squad?
Did we not just say Golden State Warriors? Who are we picking over that team? Golden State Warriors or Chicago Bulls?
It's a hard one.
It's a tough one.
Because Chicago won, Bulls won the NBA.
I think it's just, you just can't compare the stuff.
Different eras.
It's just different. Michael Jordan was the best player of all time.
Well,
was he?
Was he?
Who would win in a match at least? Again, it's just so different.
Obviously,
Dennis Rodman would abuse Draymond Green off the backboard.
Yeah.
No matter what Draymond says. But then you've got, this deep 3-point shooting wasn't really existent in the time of that. Yeah. Like Steph Curry. How did they defend that? Kevin Durant at that time probably was a center with his size and height. Well, not really size, but with his height. Yeah. It is very different. But do we get to it?
I think issue with this, obviously this is coming out and everyone's going to say, he's going to be the GOAT. But then if LeBron releases a documentary, everyone's going to say, LeBron was the GOAT.
Now I did hear stuff, I was talking with a few people, and a lot of the young players coming up now, the ones who are just getting drafted, they get asked the question, who is your inspiration? It's LeBron James. It's scary to think that we're coming in the age of kids getting drafted. But you get in the 19-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, saying, LeBron James, the Michael Jordan thing's kind of gone because, he's old
for kids,
yeah. And I think you can see now why Michael Jordan think they go, nah, bro, I'm the GOAT. And why he would have wanted to push this documentary a bit more to say, okay, hold up, Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
Yeah. I think if LeBron can win championship with the Lakers, that'd get his favour a lot. And he's got the resource, got AD with him.
Well, this is the thing, I think it's similar to the Messi Ronaldo kind of thing. Ronaldo's done it at multiple clubs.
We've got Kobe in this discussion as well, in a way. Because he is one of them.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. I think the GOAT discussion has to be LeBron and MJ.
Yeah.
As much as you want to put Kobe in there, rest in peace, it still hurts. But I don't know.
It's tough.
I don't know.
Tell us who you think is the GOAT in the comments below.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Find us on Instagram _1yo and just suss it out on there too. I want to say LeBron.
I'm going to say MJ, trip back to back to back.
Yeah. But LeBron's done it at Cavs.
Hey,
He's done it at Miami.
hasn't done it for Lakers yet.
Please do it for the Lakers. I think, honestly, too, one thing that does go under the radar, LeBron is going to do a Space Jam movie too. I mean, it's one thing that does go under the radar. Jordan as a brand. Will LeBron James ever have a brand as Air Jordan?
I think it's a bit late now.
I mean, his shoes. LeBron's shoes are more basketball shoes, like not really streetwear. But maybe it's also thinking once people retire, the stuff start getting a little bit more or whatever. So you're going MJ?
Yeah.
I'm going LeBron.
Nah. That's gonna wrap it up.
I do love LeBron. I hope you enjoyed. It was a bit more of a podcasting type one. I think it was quite long, not too sure. We really enjoyed the Last Dance documentary. If you enjoy us talking about popular Netflix series or any movies coming out, let us know. Drop a like, drop a subscribe, so we do know that you enjoy them. Make sure to check out our Instagram _1nil. Very exciting podcast coming out next Saturday. Should we just is there
A young European up and coming player.
Yeah, athlete or rapper, we don't know. No, he's an athlete. A young international superstar. We would say that.
Yeah. Climbing up the ranks.
That's it. Make sure you enjoy. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, I've got to butcher the outro, but screw it, because I'm Michael Jordan.